Live and local. Detroit's #1 news station.
This is expected to be the worst week for deaths in the U.S. since the pandemic began.
Nurses at a Detroit hospital say they need more help to treat COVID-19 patients.
Detroit, Michigan, the city synonymous with speed, the birthplace of the motor industry. Today, not a single car or person in sight as COVID-19 intensifies its grip. Motor City has the third highest number of infections in the U.S. and is still weeks away from its peak.
We are nowhere near the end of COVID-19 in the state of Michigan. We know that we are in for a tough 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks here in front of us.
There are now more than 17,000 cases in Michigan, and by far the hardest hit city is Detroit, accounting for nearly half of the state's more than 700 deaths. Among them, members of Bieber Adams' family. On March the 26th, she rushed her mum into hospital with breathing difficulties. Hours later, her grandmother too. And on the same day, her aunt, who'd contracted COVID-19 but was at home, died.
Being that we're from such a close-knit family, and for this to happen to, the 3 of the matriarchal members of my family has been just devastating. It's so shocking that I really can't deeply grieve.
Like so many others, Bieber isn't allowed to visit her loved ones in hospital, but has been calling morning and night for updates.
And how are they?
My grandmother did pass away.
She did?
Yesterday.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. I didn't realize that. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. She did pass away yesterday.
I'm really sorry, Bieber.
My mom's doing pretty okay. She's still on the ventilator. She's been pretty much the same for about 3 days. And for them, that's a good sign.
Bieber says she's angry that weeks were wasted when families like hers should have been isolating, but President Trump downplayed the crisis.
Absolutely, I'm very angry. I feel that this president and this administration is directly responsible for to my family and to so far, 10,000 people in America.
And then there's this grim reality emerging, that African Americans have been hit hardest by the virus. Despite accounting for 14% of Michigan's population, they represent 41% of its COVID victims. And in Detroit, with a majority black population, more than a third of them poor, it's even more stark.
African Americans are less likely to be in positions where they could work from home. Unfortunately, anything negative in this country is going to disproportionately affect the low income. And unfortunately, the low-income urban centers happens to be populated by Black and brown people.
To cope with the expected peak, they're converting this convention centre into a makeshift hospital. And here, just as everywhere, it's the medics on the front line bearing the brunt.
Our nurses are dropping like flies right now. I have so many friends who are positive, unfortunately. And it's very, very scary.
Kanisha Barkai was a nurse at one of Detroit's biggest hospitals, but was fired after she expressed worries about treating COVID patients.
And my gloves?
And posted pictures of herself in protective gear on social media.
I had non-COVID and COVID patients, so I felt that I was at risk, myself, but also at risk of going into a non-COVID patient's room and exposing them possibly to the virus.
The hospital Sinai Grace said it didn't comment on personnel, but added that the ever-increasing number of patients was putting a strain on its resources and staff.
It feels unnatural to not be in motion. For the city built on 4 wheels to stand still.
For now, as this public service ad says, the city built on 4 wheels is standing still.
So take this isolation as a sign of our togetherness.
Bracing itself for the worst to come.